Hey guys, good morning and welcome to another episode of Motorcyclist MC Commute. You guys know the deal. Today we're going to be riding to the motorcyclist office in Southern California on BMW's 2020 F900 XR. On this morning's ride, I'm wearing the all-weather R3 suit from Aerostitch. So without further ado, let's throw on the helmet and go for a ride. Well guys, here it is, BMW's 2020 F900 XR. This is an all-new category for BMW. They've already mastered the leader-sized adventure sport category, and now they're offering a middleweight adventure sport motorcycle in this F900 XR. Look at the styling, that signature S1000 XR front end. I love the way this front end looks. The LED headlights nestled inside that gold front fairing. The side covers do a great job of deflecting the air. They look really cool too. This XR is outfitted with BMW's optional handguard package. That's another $250 on top of the MSRP. Look at the suspension, the engine, the pipes, the fit and finish on this motorcycle is very good. You have to remember, this motorcycle is built in Berlin, Germany. Berlin, Germany, imported all the way to the United States. Very nice looking motorcycle, but enough talking about it. Let's swing a leg out over it and see what it's like to ride. Okay, here it is, guys. Mechanical key, BMW. I like that much better than a keyless ignition. The first thing I like about this motorcycle is the huge 6.5-inch color TFT dash. It is loaded with information. Service overdue. Let's try to disable that somehow. There we go. Let's go back. This thing is loaded with information. So loaded it can make using it a little bit difficult. Or not difficult, but just there are so many features in this instrument panel that it can be difficult to ascertain all of them. Let's put the adjustable windscreen up because I like it better that way. And away we go, guys. Sitting on this motorcycle, it is very comfortable. Very comfortable bike from BMW. Saddle is wide and well supported. Handlebar is fairly upright. Has a lot of rearward sweep though, quite a bit. And that's not a bad thing. That makes for just a really natural riding position behind the handlebar. Plenty of room for your feet compared to the F900R, which we recently did a review on. This bike has more relaxed ergonomics. So the foot pegs are a little bit lower, handlebar is higher and more swept back, seat's a little bit taller. All in all, more relaxed ergonomic package. It's also worth noting that BMW has a variety of seat height options, seat height and density options, so you can transform the ergonomic package based on your size. Motorrad also has a suspension lowering kit, so you can lower the motorcycle mechanically that way too if you'd like. So really neat to see BMW investing in that kind of optional OE components to allow the rider to tailor the fit to their liking. Right now we have our iPhone 8 paired via Bluetooth to the motorcycle. BMW makes a real slick Motorrad Ride Connected app. It's an iOS app that can be downloaded for free, and with that phone app you can pair the motorcycle to your phone and you can You can see settings like how much range, fuel range the bike has, service reminders, that kind of stuff. You can also use a navigation function within that app, which allows for turn-by-turn directions right here on this display. So in lieu of a Bluetooth headset with Apple Maps or Google Maps navigating you via voice, which can be sometimes hard to hear when you're going at freeway speeds, this thing gives you turn-by-turn directions on the dashboard. Really slick system. Really slick. We don't have it activated right now, but we've used it previously and it works very well. And that is all a standard feature at no additional upcharge. So very nice, BMW. And away we go, guys. This F900 XR is powered by an 895cc parallel twin. So it's the same engine that BMW uses in the F850 GS. However, there are a couple key modifications. First off, the bore measurement has been increased by 2 millimeters. It also uses forged alloy pistons. So that's difference number one. Obviously, the flow characteristic of the cylinder head has been modified, and the EFI and ignition timing mapping has been changed too. So those are the three key changes to the F900 XR. And this engine zips along really nicely. BMW claims 99 horsepower at the back tire. And it certainly seems, 99 horsepower at the crank. And it certainly seems that this thing probably has around 85, 90 horsepower at the back tire. It's a very zippy engine. Like a lot of modern parallel twins these days, this engine has a uneven firing order, and that is done to make the engine feel like a V-twin. It has the shake, rattle, and roll of a V-twin. And BMW's neighbor to the south did that with their LC8C engine, but this one feels even more like a V-twin. In fact, if you didn't know the engine configuration, you wouldn't even, you'd think it's a V-twin just by the way it feels. I really enjoy the character of this engine. It's playful, it sounds cool, it has enough vibration to keep you interested, but not enough to be off-putting. Clutch feel is light. Transmission, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say stiff, but it's just very precise feeling. You always know what gear you're in, and it has a very secure engagement feel. I like the transmission a lot. I've heard other people complain that it's sticky, but I wouldn't say it's sticky. It's actually just ultra precise. Gear ratios are also very well calibrated. I like how you can have this thing revving at in 6th gear, and it's not revving to the moon at freeway speeds, which we'll find out here soon. Right now we're riding in BMW's optional Dynamic Pro mode. Now the standard F900 XR only comes with rain and road mode, which you change here with this mode button. So rain and road are standard. If you pony up $350 for the optional Ride Modes Pro option, you get access to 2 more settings. Whoa! Look at that idiot. Dynamic mode and Dynamic Pro mode. Now, these allow for more aggressive throttle mapping.
They also allow for IMU powered stability control. So the standard non-Ride Modes Pro ASC does not include an IMU, but if you pay that $350 extra, you get IMU powered traction control, and that basically allows the motorcycle to have lean angle sensitive traction control. So it takes into account the vehicle position, and that is superior than conventional wheel speed adaptive traction control that doesn't take into account the lean angle or pitch of the motorcycle. It just takes into account wheel speed, throttle position, gear position, and that sort of stuff. So definitely the $350 Ride Modes Pro option is definitely something you would like to have. And the difference between the Dynamic Pro and the Dynamic setting is really negligible. I can't even tell a difference. I really do like the responsiveness of the throttle. It's not too dull, it's not too sharp. It just has really accurate throttle response. There we go, guys. We're cruising at 68 miles per hour, which is a little fast, but there's no traffic, so we'll let it slide today. And we're only humming around at 4,000 RPM. I really like that. Now, oddly enough, this motorcycle is not outfitted with heated grips nor cruise control. That is optional equipment that BMW Motorrad offers. Suspension-wise, this motorcycle rolls on a Showa non-adjustable fork and a Sachs spring preload and rebound damping adjustable shock. It offers about a little bit over 1 inch extra travel as compared to the F900 XR. The spring rate and the valving is also different from the standard R. And the suspension, it is marvelous. This bike just glides over pavement. It glides over rough pavement, yet it has good support when you're wailing around turns. I actually prefer the F900R's suspension a little bit more as compared to this XR, but still this XR suspension is downright excellent. This is one of the best non-adjustable front suspension pieces I've ever ridden on for a bike in this class. So kudos to BMW for really getting the calibration of the suspension right. I also like that you can adjust the shock preload with the handy toolless adjustment knob. That's a really nice touch. But to be fair, the stock OEM calibration, the suspension setting is so good you don't even need to do any changes. So good job, BMW. This bike weighs right around 483 pounds, 18 pounds more than the 465 pound F900R. It's a very agile bike, goes where you want. I like the size of this bike, the compactness of the parallel twin engine. Really, it goes a long way into making this bike small. It's not very wide, it's not very long. Yes, it's a little bit longer in terms of wheelbase, not by much, but a scant bit longer than the F900R. But this is a compact mid-sized motorcycle. Like I said, I like how we're not pulling a lot of RPM in top gear. This windscreen does a good job of blocking the elements. In the low position, it's a little bit too low, but the high position does a good job. I wish it was a little bit taller, though, to be fair. The brake and cable actuated clutch both have lever position adjustment, so you can adjust the levers in or out based on your hand size. This multi-wheel control, let's show you one of the features of it. Go here to My Vehicle. We can see the various settings of the motorcycle. This screen is super crisp. This is one of the best screens fitted on a modern motorcycle, period. onboard computer. See all the settings. 32.2 miles per gallon has been our average fuel economy, but to be fair, we were riding the motorcycle yesterday at 95 miles per hour everywhere. More real world fuel mileage is probably closer to the high 30s. 4.1 gallon capacity fuel tank. It's about a half gallon more than the F900R, and to be honest, this bike should have an even bigger fuel tank. I would like to see a 5.5 gallon, you know, another gallon and a half, because this motorcycle is so good at going long distances that having to fuel up so quickly is kind of a bummer. So maybe on the next time BMW lets fit a larger capacity fuel tank. What a fun bike to ride. Compared to the F900R that rides on Bridgestone's awesome Batlax S20 tire, I'm sorry, S21. This XR rolls on Michelin's Road 5 GT specification sport touring tire. And this tire is certainly good, but I prefer the Bridgestone. Bridgestone has more grip, better feel, and I just generally prefer what Bridgestone's doing in the road motorcycle department as compared to Michelin. Again, this Road 5 GT is a great tire, but the Bridgestone equivalent's better. Still, it's cool that BMW's fitting premium rubber on its XR. And it should. This bike's not cheap. $11,700 is the base price. It's $2,500 more than the R. So for $2,500 more than the R, you get a full front fairing, different handlebar with more relaxed ergonomics, taller seat, lower foot peg, and that's about it. So I don't know if that $2,500 price increase is worth it for you. Oh, this suspension also has extra travel, a little bit heavier spring rate, different valving. And away we go, guys. Sometimes we get mixed up in this menu system. BMW's multi-wheel wheel controls everything here, but sometimes the menu navigation can get a little goofy, or maybe I'm getting goofy. I'm pushing traction control off and I should be pushing this button up. There we go. So the menu system definitely takes a while to get acclimated to, and the thumb wheel, but still, all in all, a great display. Love this engine. You just want to rip it everywhere. Alright guys, the wheelie test. Traction control disabled. You can't disable ABS, but you can traction control. There we go, guys. Good wheelie. Yep, wheelie's real good. Also has a real pleasing rev limiter sound when you're bouncing her off the upper end of the RPM spectrum. No backing her in, guys. ABS does not allow that. I do like the brakes on this motorcycle. We didn't really talk about them. Radial mount 4-piston Brembo brakes up front. A lot of stopping power. The back brake is very sensitive, not overly, but has good actuation. If you couldn't tell, I really like this bike a lot. Alright guys, here we are to the motorcyclist's office. Let's do a little wrap up. Alright guys, here she is, BMW's 2020 F900 XR, $11,700 base MSRP. In this configuration with the $250 handguards and the $350 optional ride mode pro option, it boosts the MSRP to $12,800 with the $500 destination charge. Would I buy this motorcycle? I would buy the F900R. It's essentially the same bike without a front fairing, a little bit less suspension travel, little less relaxed ergonomics, but you save $2,500. It also comes with better tires. But if you're someone who wants to go touring, wants to log miles on the freeway, wants to go places on their motorcycle with someone else, this $11,700 F900 XR would be a worthy choice. I love the ergonomics. I love how peppy the engine is. I like the suspension on it. I like the fit and finish. I appreciate this bike is built in Berlin, Germany. This is a quality piece of engineering for Motorrad. I love the display on it. I like that you can pair your phone with the motorcycle easily for free. No extra features. You just download the BMW Ride Connected app and away you go. Also, like, this motorcycle comes with a 2-year warranty. Not that anything would break, but if it does, BMW has your back. So good job, BMW. Fantastic motorcycle and a really worthwhile entry into the adventure sport category. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do a little Q&A. Right to the top. Does it ride like a GS? Asks IJ Scorpio. It does not really ride like a GS. It's much smaller, well, at least compared to a 1200. It's much smaller. It has that conventional front suspension as opposed to the big GS's telelever front end design. So it's more of a conventional feeling motorcycle. Not that the GS isn't, but it's very light. It's very compact. Yes, the curb weight on this motorcycle is heavy, but when you're riding it, you don't feel its heaviness. It actually feels very light, very agile. So it does ride like a GS, but it also doesn't. It's a much more maneuverable and compact motorcycle. I sat on one and the seat feels awfully hard. Interesting. I like the saddle on that motorcycle a lot. I like how it's got a real deep dish. It supports your posterior very well. When you're accelerating, it's got that hump so you don't slide back too far. You know, I've logged a lot of miles in the saddle the last couple days and weeks, and I've had no discomfort at all. I really like the seat on that motorcycle. I would not say it's awfully hard. I would say it's fantastic. And again, if you're a taller or shorter rider, or you want even thicker density, BMW offers all of those things as OE accessories. What type of motor does it have? What is it like? What does it ride like? We talked about that. 895cc parallel twin dual overhead cam 8 valve. It rides awesome. Tons of torque, tons of power, tons of character, just the right amount of vibration. Great engine from BMW. Let's do one more question, guys. How far could you go on a tank? Well, based on the capacity, 4.1 gallons, we rode at 33 miles to a gallon, so 135.3 miles is what we can get as a range on this bike if you're whaling. If you're going a little bit slower, more of a normal pace, 155.8 miles is what I would estimate based on a 38 mpg average if you're not going 95 miles per hour everywhere. But you're going to want to, because this motorcycle is that fun to ride. Well, that's a wrap from today's 2020 F900 XR MC Commute. If you guys like what we're doing, please leave us a comment. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.